One of the lessons I learned from my mother's reaction over an issue between herself and her sister because of me is that in as much as we live, we tend to have misunderstanding with one another, but no matter how serious it is, we need to create room for reconciliation because of what I'm about to tell you. As I cook lunch for my family, meanwhile, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to my channel if you are new here for more true life stories. Thank you for doing so. While I was growing up, I did not live with my parents, not because they were not capable to take care of me, but because my auntie, my mother's sister, loves me so much and she wanted me to live with her. So she asked my mom to release me to her, of which my mom seek for permission from my dad for me to be released to her. And my father granted my mom permission for me to live with my auntie. And that was how I was living with her. And during my stay with her, she took very good care of me, despite that she was not earning much and I sick a lot. And every time I fell sick, she made sure that I have proper care. However, when I was about to enter secondary school, when I finished primary school, I was very sick, but instead of her to take care of me, she took me to my grandfather and told my grandfather to call my father for him to carry me to the hospital. Of which my grandfather asked her that day that after my father must have taken me to the hospital, should they return me to her house directly or bring me back to his house, my grandfather's house. Of which she told my grandfather that my father doesn't need to return me to anywhere, that I should continue living with my father. And my mother was not with my father then, not that they were divorced or they had misunderstanding, but she was just in another city doing business there. So when my father came, my grandfather told him that he should take me to the hospital. And just the question that my grandfather asked, my father still asked that same question, that okay, after the hospital, should I take her to her auntie's place or I should bring her back to your place? To my grandfather's place. But my grandfather said that you don't need to return her, just let her continue living with you. And my father was surprised and said that just like that, she should continue living with me. So my father just turned to me and said that, Semiat, oh yeah, let's go. And that was how I followed my father. My father was so angry. I could read it from his face. He was so surprised and at the same time, he was not happy. And immediately, he took me to the hospital, and after the hospital, he called my mom and was just lamenting and said so many things like, you'll be saying that your family, your sisters and brothers loves you so much. See what they just did to your daughter. She was not feeling fine, and instead of them to take her to the hospital, they asked me to come and carry her. And not even only to take her to hospital, they said that she should continue living with me, and they know that you are not around. And the only thing that my mother said that day was that it does not mean. After all, she has been the one that has been taking good care of me all this while. That I should just take care of me and forget about what happened. So, despite all what my father said to my mother, the only thing my mother said was that you don't need to disturb yourself with what happened. Just remember that she has been the one that has been taking good care of this girl since. So, for her not to take care of her now does not mean that we should forget all she has done before. That my father should just overlook it and just see the good thing that she has done before. And that was how she just settled this matter with my father. Though she later called my auntie and asked her the reason why she returned me just like that, despite the fact that she knows that she was not with my father at that time. And my auntie could not give any rigid reason for her action. So my mother advised her that she should not do that kind of thing, that even if it is not to her own family, anybody at all, that if it is because of the expenses, she would have called her and explained to her, and she would have done the needful. She would have been sending money to her for my school fees if it is because of the school fees or the expenses in the hospital. That what she did was not right. And my auntie apologized to my mother and they settled it. And thank God they settled, because now that my mother is no more, my auntie has been the person that stand in place of mother to me and all my siblings. She performed motherly role. She is the one we see as a mother. And the relationship between us is so great to the extent that You will not even know that we had misunderstanding before, or that I was once with her that she dropped me unexpectedly. And do you know that when my auntie dropped me, I did not even go with my wares. I only went with the cloth that I was putting on that day. It was when I was with my father that they later brought all my belongings, of which I was not happy about it, but there is nothing I can do about it. Had it been my mother did not handle the matter the way she did, it would have created enmity between us. And now that she is no more, we won't have seen somebody to relate to like a mother. I know that nobody can be like your real mother, but at least it's better than not having anybody to relate to pour your heart out to, like your mother. So, if you're the one that destroyed relationship easily, try to change, because you don't know tomorrow and there's nothing with advantage that does not have disadvantage. So, whenever you have misunderstanding with anyone, don't let it destroy your relationship. Try to settle, because the person you think that is bad today might be of great help to you tomorrow. Try to keep your relationship intact and in good way. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Meanwhile, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so.